Hey everybody.
Sean and Kelly here, Price and Price Group of Samson Properties, and we are in a special studio location. It was too rainy outside, so our lighting is horrible. So what are we talking about today?
I don't know. You told me that you were going to
It's a
surprise me with something.
Yes. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of quiz Kelly on some good ideas for how to appropriately decorate for the holidays and the Halloween season. So I don't know how many points we're going to have, but we'll find out. Here we go. Okay, so we have a new listing that we just put on the market, and I needed some advice from my staging person here on how to appropriately handle the decorations for that property and how to just present it well for the market. So I want to go through this with you, and do we want to talk more about like a general seasonal, or we want to talk specific holidays?
No, we can talk general, and I'll
Okay.
make a few specific points
Okay,
about
okay.
each of the holidays.
Okay. So how do you prepare, if you're selling, how
Yeah.
do you prepare a house so
Okay.
that it presents well during a season? Point number one, go.
Big general point is to kiss it. That's right. Keep it simple, seller. Please, just kiss it.
Okay.
Keep it simple, Sean. And I've taught him all of the things I'm saying here so many times. I cannot
so know
believe
all
you
this.
told them that was okay. Even they knew it wasn't okay and you said it was okay. Okay.
Anyway,
So the first thing is if you can find it in nature, you're on the right track. So keep appropriately seasonal foliage, things that you would pleasantly stumble across in nature, right? So you wouldn't be happy if you stumbled across a skeleton, right? They exist
or a
in nature.
scarecrow.
Or a scarecrow,
Yeah.
or a bat,
Oof.
or a rat, or a big giant spider web, right? So if you're not going to be happy to stumble upon it, don't use it. If you're going to be happy, or it's of no consequence, like a pine cone, right? Or a gourd, or a pumpkin, or a tree, or maybe even a wreath. You'll be like, oh, a Christmas fairy took some boughs and turned it into a wreath, and I'm so pleased. You know, that would be fine.
Took some boughs.
You know, like branches, boughs.
Oh,
You need a vocabulary
Yes.
update.
Okay,
I
so
need to update your
so I
vocabulary,
feel like
Chip.
I need to kind of translate this a little bit into
Okay.
people that speak my language.
Yes.
So if you like to decorate for Halloween, do it.
Yes.
If you like to put skeletons and all this stuff over your and make scenes,
Don't do it.
No, do it.
No.
If you're selling your house,
Oh, right.
listen to what we're talking about, because you want to present the house
Oh,
appropriately.
we have skeletons
we
like
put
crazy in
skeletons
our front
everywhere,
yard.
yeah.
I love our
Yeah,
skeletons.
so let's clarify
They're
what
great.
we're talking about here. Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right, so foliage, appropriate foliage. So
yes,
pumpkins, leaves, acorns, and go forward. Go forward and prosper.
Okay, because you're gonna get so mad at me for being long-winded, and right now you're
Yeah.
you're taking over. Okay.
Anyway.
So the next thing is complementing decor and decorations, right? So I've done the whole thing about how to stage for fall in general. I just didn't talk about decoration. So with the decor, you want to keep it still keep it very, very neutral, right? All of your please remove all your window coverings, but if you don't, you can do some light, but keep it white or beige or creams, neutral creams. You can warm it up a little bit, but use like your little bits of color. Like for you, what color would you, if you were in charge, want to decorate for Halloween?
I'd want to go some black.
Right. So you could use iron, right?
Yeah,
You could put out a couple of iron candlesticks.
Are we still talking on the exterior, or are we talking the interior as well?
This
now?
is both,
Okay,
right? Okay, so I don't want to see any scarecrows anywhere.
Right.
You can use like for Halloween and Thanksgiving, so fall, like the nice little hay bales, right? And put a couple of
Love
pumpkins.
hay bales.
Please don't carve or color your pumpkins or anything. Just go ahead and keep them whole.
Yeah.
Kind of like almost imagine that someone went and harvested all these pumpkins and gourds, put them in a wheelbarrow, and like dumped them on the side of the door, like a pretty dump, right?
Because that would actually go beyond Halloween. That could go into
Thanksgiving. And then you're not
yeah.
having to think about it. Okay, complimentary. So let's say we've moved into Christmas, and I've said to keep everything really neutral. Please, like, don't go all. You don't have to puke red and green if you want to decorate for Christmas. You can do whites, right? Because if I'm talking complimentary, things are white. You're thinking snowy. You're thinking kind of glistening. Ice crystals. You can still have green because of the evergreens of the trees, but just kind of keep it all in that natural, found in nature family.
Okay.
Another thing is with your decorations, keep all your nice, sentimental, and really expensive things packed away safely. You don't want your heart to be broken because somebody broke one of your decorations, right?
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to spend a ton of money. I mean, you can go to Target, you can go to Home Goods or whatever and find some nice complementary stuff. It's all gonna work together and you're not spending a ton of money, right? And then if maybe you'll decide you want to keep it and maybe you want to donate it, and you're not going to spend a lot of money at those places. Or because my number 3 is minimal placement. Don't do a lot, just do a little bit, like in each room or at your front door, just a little taste of, hey, it's fall. In whatever room, a taste of, hey, it's this, hey, it's that. You don't even have to put anything in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have to
decorate the kitchen.
Decorate your kitchen. So will you please not change your rugs and your dish towels to match the holidays? Okay, we're gonna move on to.
sounds like my mom's house.
I love your mom, and her decorations are so much fun.
They're
Our kids
so
love
fun.
that.
Again,
Yes.
Again, this is about selling the house and
This is
keeping it
selling
neutral.
the house.
We want to appeal to the highest number of buyers when they're walking in. So we don't
I
want
have
things.
some tacky decorations that I love.
Yeah. That's the important thing here, is the distinction between like personal decorations versus turning your house into a product.
Yeah, I have so much that I would not ever use if we were selling our house.
Yeah.
Okay, and lastly is appeal to all buyers, right?
Yeah.
And that means think about religious stuff, think about kids. If it's going to be scary at Halloween, you don't want like parents to be like, well, we love the house, but now little Timmy over here is like having nightmares because of the fucking, oh, hey, don't use scary language either, because of that big old awesome werewolf. Okay.
I love that werewolf.
I love that. Where was that? Okay. Wait, if you ever are in Great Falls.
English.
On English, Inglish.
Yeah.
They put up this big
2-story werewolf. Yes.
That I am in love with. Like every time we take Bastion to his friend's house, around that time, I cannot wait. I'm like, oh, I want a skeleton that big. He's amazing. Okay, don't do that.
But she brings up a good point too. Like not only with the kids being scared, but if you want to take into account the different religious situations, because somebody may not consciously say to themselves like, oh, I'm offended these people or whatever, but internally they're going to have an emotional response to the house. So you want to only allow that psychological emotional response to be something positive.
Well, I have something to speak to that we experienced. We actually were representing buyers on this, and they were we were showing them a house that it did end up considering, but their first comment when they walked in was, oh wow, these people are like, and they said what they said. And it put, and as a matter of fact, they referred to that house as the da-da-da-da house.
Yeah.
And what they said wasn't mean. I'm just not going to like talk about a specific religion. But it does put something in their minds. It gives them a feel, right?
Yeah,
and they weren't vibing with it. And so they didn't vibe with the house as much that I think they would have if it hadn't been there at all.
Yep. So everything that you're saying, like that you're finding in nature's neutral. So all these things are good seasonal things. So you can make them feel the season, but not necessarily make them feel the specific holiday.
Yeah, and when I get on a soapbox, like I'm not slamming you if you do that to your rugs and your kitchen and stuff. It's just not something you want to do to sell your house, right?
Yeah.
So.
I love my mom's house when she decorates. It's so like festively. It is traditional red and green with all the traditional wrapping paper, cartoon Christmas wrapping paper, tinsel everywhere,
garland,
shiny garland,
things moving around in this gigantic village.
Oh man,
it's so fun.
It is such a great that's where you feel Christmas, but she's not selling her house. So
she can do it.
That's right. All right. Any other points?
I have a lot of points, but we're gonna keep it.
Okay, so we got 4.
Simple, seller.
All right, so we got 4. Okay, so I think that's helpful.
Okay, so what did I say? Keep it minimal, appropriately seasonal with the decor. Appeal to all.
Yeah, things you'd happily find in nature.
Oh, and keep it neutral and the decor flowing together, right?
Yeah. Okay, very good. All right. We will see you on next week's video. Let us know if you have any questions, and if you have any specifics on design, please feel free to bombard Kelly. I'm volunteering her. But
I'm so overly opinionated on this topic. It's not even funny.
All right. We'll see you guys on next week's video.
Bye.
All right, here we are with this week's
Mortgage Minute.
Market Snapshot. What's happened the last 7 days in the Northern Virginia real estate market in under 5 minutes?
Thought,
yes.
Because this is, oh, right. Why am I so dumb?
All right, here we go.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so before we dive into the yellow lines, we're going all the way back.
Yay.
Before we dive into the squiggly lines, what is your feel of what's happening in the market?
I feel like buyers are waking up, coming out of their slumber, and starting to like get serious about writing more offers and getting that house.
Yep, I agree.
I think is it because of the interest rates, and also because they think that they just now lowered it because the Fed's lowered it, even though
that's a good point because they've actually come up since the Fed lowered it.
Yeah, mortgage rates and Fed rates are not the same thing.
Yep.
Listen to our stuff with Tatiana, and we'll go into that further.
Yeah.
But I think that that's part of it, and then maybe they're also kind of like wanting to get it done before the holidays, right?
Yeah.
So they can kind of nest in
Yeah,
for
we're getting
the
into
holiday
that little
season.
fall.
This is what I really want to buy a house this time of year too.
That's when you're gonna go shopping.
I mean, I also want to
Christmas
renovate
shopping.
this house.
Anyway, so that's what we are seeing. We're seeing that there are still some properties that are sitting on the market for a little while, but we're seeing that if a property is priced correctly for its condition, it's getting offers quickly.
Yeah.
We just went and toured 2 properties with buyers last night, and both of those properties are under contract.
Yeah, right.
So it's happening quick. So let's dive into the numbers and see if the numbers match this.
That's right, everybody.
Okay.
As usual, your squiggly blue line represents the buyer activity. I said orange.
You said blue.
That squiggly orange line represents buyer activity. What that means is those are the number of homes that have gone under contract this last 7 days.
Yes.
I said orange.
No.
It's okay, everybody.
Okay.
The squiggly blue line, however, different than the orange line, this one represents the seller activity. That's how many new homes have been listed for sale in the last 7 days.
That is correct. Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. So as we dive into this, you can see that the orange line, since the Labor Day weekend, buyer activity has just skyrocketed. And you can see with the Labor Day weekend, inventory skyrocketed, but then the last 2 weeks, it's actually declined. So with buyer activity increasing and inventory decreasing, that's increasing this gap here, which is putting us, if you come over here, into a strong seller's market.
So the blue line on this other graph, the light blue line, that is a neutral market. That's neither buyer nor seller. It's completely neutral. So that white line is showing us that we're up in the seller part, the seller's market part, which is it. Yeah, I mean that speaks to what we were saying, and what I told you my feeling was is that houses are going under contract more right now because of more buyer activity, but people are not listing. Why?
Well, it's because of the we're going into the fall season, so a lot of people that don't want to list could be interest rate related as well. But during the fall. We'll see an uptick in buyer activity, but we always see a downtick in inventory because it's not really the best time to move unless you have to. Right. And a lot of sellers want to think, they think to themselves, oh, we'll wait for the spring market, which is sometimes a mistake because there's more inventory in the spring, even though there are a bunch of buyers.
Right.
Right now, there's less and less competition. And what we're seeing, we were going through a period where you can see that we had this decreasing seller's market here. It was decreasing in strength, and we had decreasing buyer activity over here. So we were telling buyers that now's the time. Well, we've hit that point where now inventory is going down and buyer activity seems to be going up. And if this continues, then we're just going to be getting into that aggressive market again. Buyers, you're going to have to be prepared for the multiple offers and be prepared for that strategic attack. And sellers, don't wait for the spring. Right now, the buyers are out there and they're putting offers in. So let's get you on the market, priced appropriately for the condition.
And I know sometimes it might feel like we're always saying buyers, now is the time, but there was a whole period where we were not saying that. It's like buyers, okay, chill and we were saying sellers, now's the time.
Now's the time
List
for
your
sellers,
houses because we didn't have enough.
Yeah.
We really still don't have enough.
Yeah. Okay.
So when we say it, we mean it.
That's right.
I says something, I mean it. That's like, who is that? Jeezy? Somebody?
No, I don't
He's got a lot of nasty lyrics, but for some reason.
Well, it's got a nasty name. Anyway. All right,
I don't
guys.
even know if I got his name right.
If you have any questions, reach out to us, let us know, and we'll see you guys on next week's report.
Bye.
Hey
everybody, and it's time for this week's Mortgage Minute with Tatiana from Prosperity Home Mortgage. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Hello, my friends.
All right, naughty hat or naughty hat?
Naughty hat.
Naughty hat or nice hat?
I have, I don't know, a little bit of naughty hat or no hat at all. Let's see what I have.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, so as you can see here on the chart, the rates are still showing at 6.25%. Average rate for conventional conforming, and I'm stressing out conforming because high balance conforming, which is over 806, what is its new number came out, actually 802,650. Once a year they increase the limit, so now it's going to be 802,650. I'm still learning it. I'm trying to memorize it, but they come up with this random numbers.
Yeah.
But when you below within that amount, that's conforming loan limits. And here you can see that this scenario is based on 780 score with more than 40% down payment.
Okay.
The rate is 6.25. Once you go above that conforming loan limit, the rates are gonna actually go higher. Everybody was wondering, so what's gonna happen? Everybody was hoping that rates will go down once Fed cuts the rate. The rates went down before Fed cut the rate, just in anticipation of that, and they did like pretty generous cut of 0.5%. But since then, actually rates, we can see the tendency of rates going up. I am quoting clients with 5, 10, 20% down payment, 6.5 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so would you recommend someone go ahead and lock their rate at this point?
Yes, absolutely. If they're purchasing within, next 30 to 45 days, I recommend locking in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so my understanding, and I don't want to go deep dive into this, but my understanding is the interest rates, the mortgage rates follow the treasury bond. Is that the 30?
They follow the 10-year treasury yield.
10-year. Okay, 10-year.
That's what they follow. Yeah. And when it goes up, the rate goes up.
Got it. Okay, 10-year treasury bond. Okay.
And I have a quick question too. You said that they changed the number on the conforming rate, right? To go to high. Did they change the number on the jumbo, which was like, wasn't it?
Yeah, so there are a couple of tiers. We have conforming, high balance conforming, and then we have non-conforming, or as everyone knows, as jumbo. So the limits vary depending on county. In our immediate DC metropolitan area, we have high cost of living, so the conforming loan limit, they just increased to 802,650 from 766. What was it? 766,550. So they increased it some, but they actually, and then once you go above that, you can have it's going to be high balance conforming, and that's up to 1.149 850 in our area.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 825. Yeah, so 1.149 825 in our area. They didn't change it this year. They kept it the same, which is a little bit surprising to me. I was hoping they would, but they didn't. So, and then once you go above that, that is going to be a jumbo financing.
Okay.
Okay.
That was a pretty good change they did last year, though. A pretty good jump. But
yeah, it's actually jumped from 1.89 300 to 1.149 825.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that's it. Just all bad news about the interest rates. Not really bad news. It's still good rates. Yeah, it's still good rates. So.
Yeah, keep in mind they did a good thing.
Yeah, leading up to it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So
I have a
Kelly,
question.
yeah, go.
So you know how we all get the postcards in the mail? Well, we got another one and it was from a lender who said, wow, check out these rates that you qualify for in Fairfax County or whatever. And it was crazy low, like not rates that I'm seeing on our charts or seeing in the really real world. Can you explain what these postcards we all get are all about? And they talk about APR and interest rates and everything. So please, please, please tell us what's up with that.
Yeah, so those are eye catchers, right? You have to throw something in there that would keep people's attention, gets their attention. But what's behind those rates, you need to read in those small fonts. And you know, the interest rates, they depend on, you know, the fact that you're a first-time home buyer. Even if you're a first-time home buyer, typically you get low rate, but what's your income? If your income exceeds certain amount for the area, then the rate is gonna go up. I just have a client that, you know, I was quoting 6,125, first-time home buyer. He was looking in certain price range, then he started going up where he needed a cosigner because he wouldn't qualify on his own. When I added the cosigner and cosigner's income, it went to completely different tiers. So now the rate is 7.5.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
So it's, you know, those little nuances, they're not gonna advertise there. They just need to advertise something that can catch your attention. But what people need to look at is, you know, what the down payment here, like right here, see it's 6.25, but it's showing 780 score and more than 40% down payment.
I know. Who does that?
I'm sorry?
It's like who does that? Not many people are able to put 40% down.
Exactly, and it doesn't give all other details like I just described, right? First time buyer, what's your income, and such. And you know, and you need to look at if it's going to be a fixed rate, or is it maybe 10-year fixed, advertised, or 15, you know, because those have shorter terms, they have low rate, or maybe it's adjustable rate mortgage, which some lenders offer. Even 1 year adjustable rate mortgage is going to be a low interest rate, but you know, it's super aggressive, could involve a bunch of points in there, and points, discount points is something that you pay to get lower interest rate. So what you need to look at, you mentioned APR, right? So APR is the indicator of what the closing costs might be. So let's see, I just happen to have this chart. So the interest rate is a cost you will pay each year to borrow the money, expressed in percentage rate, right? It does not reflect fees or any other charges you may have to pay for the loan. So the APR is the broader measure of the cost of borrowing money than the interest rate. The APR reflects the rate, any discount points, mortgage broker fees. That's another thing, that what are their broker fees or origination fees, and other charges that you know, could be paid to get that loan, which is a closing cost, right? So when you see the difference between, there's always going to be difference between interest rate and APR, unless seller covers the closing cost 100%, right? Then it's going to be the same. However, you know, what could be included? Mortgage insurance. If you have mortgage insurance, or, you know, mortgage insurance premium, that's part of APR. The origination fee, or some, you know, companies charge processing underwriting fee, which could be 1-2% of the loan amount. That could be pretty expensive. The title company fees, some have application fees, and you know, some other things. But the main thing that you need to look at when you are getting a quote from a lender, you need to look at, are there mortgage premium, is there discount points? How much origination fee? So I might quote someone 4% interest rate, but I'm gonna charge them 7 points, and that's gonna be a lot of money. So
Yeah.
you just need to really look deeper into what is actually what the offering is actually available. And in a small font, you can always read, it says there, the real rate might be higher, might be different. They apply to find out, but it's just something to catch people's attention and
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a two-pronged question. Number one, maybe more, maybe less. Number one, is it safe to say that if you look at one of these cards and they have like a 4% interest rate, they have to disclose an APR, correct? Based on how they got that 4%.
absolutely.
Okay, so that's a safety check. If it's 4% here, but then the APR is 7%, there's a whole lot of fees in there. What is an appropriate spread to know that you're within reason of it's just closing costs or something like that? Or can you even give that number? Is that something that you can calculate?
The typical would be maybe 0.5% difference.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So if it's a 4% and it's a 4.5% APR, then you're like, hey, this might be
That's
legit.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. I like.
Yeah. And if somebody gets the mailer like this and they don't disclose APR, they can report them because that's violation. They cannot
Okay.
do something like that. That's misleading information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bait and switch.
Yeah.
Or it's
So-
like those big juicy burger ads. They show the burger all big and wonderful, but they don't show what I look like when I would live on the burgers. They don't show me like post eating those burgers all the time.
Or it's like
It's
that.
like expectation and reality, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like that restaurant we went to. Remember Copeland's? And they had the big old jumbo shrimp, and we ordered the meal, and it
Oh,
came out
yeah.
here with the little
And I'm
steamed
like,
ugly shrimp.
This
Yeah,
is
it's
like
like,
little salad
and
canned
you're like,
shrimp.
that's just what it comes with. Anyway,
You didn't just name them. You'll
I
name
think they
them.
went out of business.
Oh,
That's why I
okay.
did say
It
that.
was Copeland's then.
Copeland's in Pensacola, Florida. All right. Okay. Well, that's really
Yeah.
helpful. I appreciate that. We
Yeah.
had another client reach out to us about a potential refi, and they were like, "How do we know if they're telling the truth?" And I'm like, "You got to get the loan estimate, then you got to go talk to Tatiana and see if it's like what they're
Compare.
hiding." And
Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't realize we had that litmus test that we could do like right there. So that's good.
Yeah, that is really good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that.
guys.
All right.
Good
Well,
questions. Keep
yeah.
them
Well,
coming.
hey,
Yes.
next week,
Oh,
if
yeah.
go ahead.
I was just gonna do her phone number and stuff. but
Yes,
you
yes.
first.
Next week, if the interest rates keep ticking up, can we talk a little bit more about the mechanism of how people can kind of try to maybe actually be able to tell what's going to happen?
Definitely. Good
Okay,
idea.
great.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Go for it.
If you need Tatiana, you can call or text her at
571-245-3000.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.